And shifting focus to Sudan now, where a parallel government announced by the paramilitary RSF is racing to grab diplomatic legitimacy. The Libya situation, where Sudan is split into two parts, where separate administrations looms larger than ever, while the Sudanese army, led by Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, is making gains on the ground. The RSF, led by Mohamed Dagalo, better known as Hemedti, is attempting to steal legitimacy from its army-led rival. Now, currently, the army-led government in Sudan is the one recognized by the United Nations. Why? Now, experts say that legitimacy as a governing body will make it easier for the RSF to access advanced weaponry from countries abroad. This move could prolong the already devastating war in the country.
Legitimacy is earned, not given. And the first legitimacy is drawn from our people, and this government will earn its legitimacy from its ability to serve the goals of people, providing security and the essential services. This is the main legitimacy needed at this phase. The second legitimacy is from the neighboring countries. If you secure your borders and stop the bloodshed across the borders, displacement, and all the issues on the borders like weapons and drugs, smuggling, and the threat of use and employment of terrorist groups.
Last month, RSF leaders convened in the Kenyan capital of Nairobi and announced a government of peace and unity with its allies. All this while their fighters went on a brutal killing spree in the White Nile state, leaving at least 433 people dead.
We are not a parallel government. We are Sudan's government, and we don't acknowledge that there's a government. As I told you, those responsible for Port Sudan Authority themselves told the Sudanese people that they want to form a government and haven't said a new government. They just said they will form a government, which means there's no government. Our priority is not to buy weapons. This is not a war government, but rather a peace government. Our main mission is to provide services for the people, but to provide services, you have to protect people. As I told you, the government needs to defend itself and to defend its citizens, and to defend, it has the right to acquire defense systems, including aircrafts or other.
The RSF's move to form a rival government has drawn sharp criticism. The United Nations has warned, saying this would further deepen Sudan's fragmentation. Saudi Arabia, which previously mediated ceasefire talks between the two sides, warned against any step or illegal measure taken outside of the framework of official institutions. Kuwait also called it a threat to Sudan's territorial unity. Egypt and Jordan have been the latest countries to criticize the move, while Cairo said it rejects any attempt to threaten the unity and sovereignty of Sudan. Jordan also opposes any moves that could jeopardize Sudan's unity. The war between the Sudanese army's Burhan and RSF's Hemedti is not just a domestic squabble. Sudan is a bridge that links West Asia and Africa, and the country's abundant resources mean the battle has had a larger regional dimension. Gulf heavyweights Saudi Arabia and the UAE view the war as a chance to cement their hegemonic status in West Asia. While Saudi Arabia has reportedly been supporting the army's Burhan, the UAE has been backing the RSF's Hemedti. Both Saudi Arabia and the UAE have long invested in Sudan's economy. The two West Asian giants have also been providing military support to rival sides. Sudan's army and the United Nations have accused Abu Dhabi of supplying arms to the RSF. The United Nations has also repeatedly accused foreign players of prolonging the war in Sudan. Apart from the UAE, Russia and Libya have also been accused of supporting the paramilitary RSF. And apart from Saudi Arabia, Egypt and Iran have reportedly been aiding the Sudanese army. Even the African Union, which has 55 member states, is divided on the issue of whether Sudan will split and on whether any political entity linked to the RSF, which has been accused of genocide, can be condoned. The army, too, is taking steps to form a new executive government. While the RSF held meetings in Nairobi, the Sudanese government in Port Sudan declared that it would announce a civilian government soon. Reports say this is expected to take place once the army takes complete control of Khartoum, where Burhan's forces have been making rapid gains. With both sides vying for legitimacy as the war continues, will the West Asian powerhouses be the decision makers of Sudan's future leadership?
Merci beaucoup. Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Namaste, Mr. President.
Bharat Kelogon, Komeri Namaste.
How many people generally follow you in interviews?
Typically in a month, we have viewers up to 150 million. That's more than twice the population of France. And in the last 2 years, we had 3 billion viewers. So I say, Laurent, this is your chance to be famous. You're on Firstpost. One word to describe your equation with Prime Minister Modi.
Amitié.
As India and France work together, are you creating a new era of non-alignment in the technology space?
India is a training superpower. 1 million engineers a year, more than all of Europe and the US combined. So we have that partnership. We have a partnership on the environment and the economy. We also have civilian nuclear programs, and that is something we've developed far beyond the France-India relationship. So we want to work together on AI.
And then comes China with its DeepSeek, creating models at a fraction of the cost. Did that innovation take you by surprise? Did that breakthrough make you sit up and think, what did the Chinese do and how?
But what did DeepSeek do? They took everything that was already available from the last AI model, and then they recalibrated it.
So are you going to ban Chinese AI in France?
So we don't have this American approach of banning tech because of where it comes from.
Obviously today the T20 World Cup bandwagon has moved across to the West Indies. What can you expect from this?
Hello, I'm Alyson coming to you from Durban, South Africa. Today we have a special show.
We'll start with a report on India's shifting nuclear policy. The first time since India officially became a nuclear power.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost America. I'm Burhan coming to you live from the nation's capital,